Hello, everybody. My name is Carissa Verdry, and I am here today to give homage to the most fabulous legend of all times and one of the greatest singers of all times, Miss Whitney Elizabeth Houston. When I first heard of her struggles with drugs and her relationship with her husband, it broke my heart to know that someone so beautiful, so talented, could experience such heartaches and could not overcome them. But I know this, she knew she had a Savior who loved her. So, to the Houston family and to Bobby Christina especially, this tribute is to your mother and to one of our favorite singers of all time. She was truly famous, and she is missed.